Developing story. The Davante Adams trade talk is heating up. Adam, where do things stand right now?
Well, Laura, it's looking increasingly likely that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to wind up trading Davante Adams. The question is, where will he be sent and when will he sent out of Las Vegas? And he, if he's given a choice, ideally would like to end up with a quarterback that he's played with in the past. And two of his top landing spots, if not the top two landing spots, are the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers and the New Orleans Saints with Derek Carr. Those would be the places that he would like to go. And now we see if those two teams can figure out a way to work out a trade with the Raiders, who are asking teams for a combination of a second-round pick and additional compensation. It remains to be seen whether they can come close to getting that in return. They would have gotten that this summer had they entertained the idea of trading Davante Adams, but they shot down all inquiries that came their way this summer, thinking that they were going to hold on to Davante Adams. But clearly, with the way the season has started, with the way that the quarterback has played, with the way things have gone, Davante Adams is looking to get out, and the Raiders look like they're going to be forced to have to accommodate his wishes and make a deal sometime before the NFL trade deadline on November 5th, which also just happens to be the day of the presidential election.
There you go. All the information from Adam Schefter. He's
Okay, the election has nothing to do with anything, so why would you even remotely bring that up? Okay, so this is the way how... First off, before I start, I'm really curious. Las Vegas Raiders fans, how do you feel about this? Are you upset? Are you angry? Are you saying get him out of here? Are you frustrated how this was handled? Should this happened in the off season? Should this team been set up in a way that someone like Davante is happy to be here, with the Raiders? That I'm just really curious, because I have no true deep understanding how Raiders fans feel with all this going down. That I'm genuinely really curious about. But with that said, I think the fact that they're going to still get what they were going to get in the offseason during the regular season makes sense then that they held off. You can look at it from both ways, right? On one side, it makes sense because you would say, okay, let's see what we can get going. Let's see if we can make him happy. But also, if not, then it's frustrating because now you have to kind of deal with this mid-season, right? And it just kind of bogs everything down. It makes the rest of the locker room feel like they're not moving in the right direction. It just can end up being more of a problem and a bad way, a bad culture building, and a bad unification within the locker room. But also at the same time, removing someone from the locker room can also have a unifying effect as well, as the Raiders definitely know, moving on from AB, firing a coach, right? All of those things. So, I don't know if there's necessarily a 100% right or 100% wrong situation. I think it would be wrong if the Raiders had like true Super Bowl aspirations this season, right? If they were like right on the cusp and now they have to deal with this, it's better to take care of it in the offseason and move on and kind of get things going. But yeah, if you're a Raiders fan, no matter what, I feel like this has to be a frustrating experience, because I think there was more of a belief this year that this team can kind of get, do some work. There was the feeling that Minshew would be able to get to work, a full year now with the new head coach, putting in work, defensive-led team, hard, gritty, physical, winning tough, hard, ugly games on a consistent basis. And I'm not going to say that the Raiders still can't do that, quite frankly. I think they have the potential to. One of the biggest things that's been hampering them, I don't see, like Schefter said, like Minshew. Like I don't see Minshew being the big fundamental problem, quite frankly. I feel that the lack of the run game has been the fundamental problem. You can't put all the weight on Gardner Minshew's shoulders. Most quarterbacks aren't able to survive that. And I can go off and list all the top quarterbacks that have struggled to be able to survive that and also survive it without a wide receiver like a Davante, and they struggle. Matthew Stafford is struggling, right? Patrick Mahomes is struggling, right? We have Jalen Hurts is struggling. Like you have all these quarterbacks who are struggling. And again, when you don't have the run game, Caleb Williams, a perfect example right now. With the Chicago Bears, when there was no run game, Caleb Williams looked really, really bad. When they had a run game with Swift, Caleb Williams instantly looked significantly better. So I think the Raiders have to do everything they can to find a way to get this run game, because right now they're averaging like 50-some yards a game, if memory serves me correctly, and rushing. And that's not okay. That is not good enough. But I'm also kind of confused because I don't know then, what Davante was hoping to achieve this offseason, or what the Raiders were hoping to achieve, where now there's the way how their season has started, where it's just so far off, where they're just like, all right, I got to get out of here. Like were you expecting to go 4-0? Like I'm that's where I'm kind of confused. Like, what was the actual expectations? Anything short of 4-0, you're just like, we're done, I'm out of here. So that's what I'm still trying to gather and make sense of right now. And so really fundamentally, my real main question to Raiders fans is just like, how do you feel about all of this? Are you frustrated? Do you think now you're in a worse situation because you are losing a wide receiver as great as Davante, or did you never really feel like he was part of the team to begin with? Are you frustrated at the Raiders organization for how this is kind of all unfolding? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.